Good afternoon, or maybe it's good morning. Uh, we are here to discuss about global business continuity and risk management strategies. This is Mustafa Komut. I am tutor at CFA Academy. I hope you will have a nice session together with us, and I would like to thank you for all for joining this session. Um, This is, let's say, about what is CFA CERT. CFA CERT is an independent auditing company accredited by UCAS and IS, operating in many countries. CFA CERT is a member of the British Education, which is called CPD Certification Service. CFA CERT is a member of the Association of British Certification Bodies, and also it provides gap analysis, training, audit, and certification services in many areas, such as information security, business continuity, IT service management, quality management, GDPR, personal data management system, which is, as we know, PIMS. So this is for what is CFA CERT. Before we start, let me introduce myself. Maybe you may have already seen my curriculum vitae as a short bio. I'm a business resilience and data privacy senior manager for Vodafone for 16 years. And then I moved to the Turkish Airlines as a technology consultant. And then I've started a new journey for my career for a company which is called deals with the corporate security services. I'm a board member of Securitma. So what we do best practices, consultancy, information security, and business continuity. Meanwhile, I am very happy to provide you the services on the behalf of CFA Start Turkey, providing ISO 27001, 22301, gap analysis, 20,000. These are the best practices for the lead auditor course or implementation course. This is for my brief case. Agenda for why is business continuity planning is necessary? What is the importance of business continuity for global business? We will also deal with for risk assessment methodologies, risk identification, evaluation, assessment matrix, and risk control matrix. And for some cases, we will touch for risk analysis in global operations. Meanwhile, I would like to have much more get in touch with you. If you have any questions, there is a Q&A session by the end of the webinar. Meanwhile, you can ask the questions by the end of the session, or you can take the notes and then you will follow me after the course. Why is business continuity necessary? Well, you may have several answers for this, but basically, you have a much more important your resources, your facilities, your operational availability, your security and privacy issues, regulatory compliance, and market readiness. These are what all we call business resilience. Before that, we have using the term for business continuity. Now we have shifted to the business resilience. So business resilience is composed of the business continuity. So what is the basic foundation of business resilience? We may summarize it mostly complying with the legal requirements, establishing business continuity policy, appointing one or more persons for appropriate responsibility for business continuity management, ensure for roles and responsibility because you need to have a people who is going to deal with this, and ensure the availability for sufficient resources. Means that sufficient means that you have already made a calculation. I need this kind of resource for me. This could be either from the technology or people or process. So you have to define the what you need for it. Communicating to the organization for providing the full requirement for business continuity policy, ensuring the internal BCMS audits and are conducted, and provide the best effort and effective management review for business continuity management system in place. These are the 8 pillars for business resilience objectives. We have most in common is already defined for business continuity, either coming from the ISO 22201 or BS standard, which is ISO also. This we call it security and resilience for business continuity management system. So this is a best practice. It has been updated then a couple of years ago. So whatever you need is mostly you can find it in this document. It is a standard. It doesn't tell you how to do this, but it tells you what you must do. So basic this approach based on this standard. Before that, of course, there's another standard, PS77, ISO 27001, ITIL, and also 2399, ISO 31000, IFP, data protection legislation, freedom of information legislation, health and safety, and SOX. These are the components of other standards that quite close to the ISO 2231. Why we have started from the standard? What is this? Because standards is the basic component of the business continuity. But business continuity, much more than, it's based on the strategy. Strategy also components of the risk management. So whenever we go, you have to think of what is the risk management strategy, how we are going to deal with this. Risk management in the context of the business resilience, it can collate with the critical activities. That means if you have got a telco business, you have to say that I have a service 2G, 3G, 4G, voice, data, SMS. I have to make system available in, let's say, 2 hours. This is being calculated based on the coming from the requirement from the regulatory body. So you will make that this will be happen. How you are going to do this? This is a strategy. Strategy is the behind that you need to do risk management, because you need to do for risk management. If you choose the one of the strategy that you have to find out what is going to be next, how the things that it will happen to me. So you have to work around with the risk management philosophy. It will cover up with the cost of the implementation of strategy and also business continuity. It will tell you outages, threats, and then impacts for your business. Corporate strategy for business resilience, you may call it, or for other things, for the business continuity. This is for maybe come across for the Turkish way. License for the BTK, we call it ICTA, Information Communication Telecom Authority, and also other components for ISO 22301, 231. This is government law, regulation. And what are other customers? They are forcing us for the service quality and the regulations, SLA, multinational service requirements. And also for internal factors, 22301, if you are going for the certification, what will come? So you force the company that I have to get the certification. And brand reputation also in the internal factors, you for business, it may come from the several impacts from the press, media. Oh, so this is coming from your internal factors as well. Insurance, if something happened for your service, you may call for the insurance company that I couldn't make system up and running. I have to claim that, let's say, £1 million for the insurance policy. So these are all you need to do with the corporate strategy for the business continuity. The corporate strategy compounds with these pillars. In the standard is also we call it internal factors and external. Business continuity planning, it is mostly requires you minimize your downtime. It protects your reputation, and also it ensures compliance, reduces financial losses that we have just seen before, and enhances your resilience and support employee safety. So your business continuity planning for global organizations as well as in local ones, these are the pillars that you have to take into consideration. Minimizing downtime, it's also protects your reputation, provides insurance for your compliance. This is for based for the impact for the risk assessment and business continuity. We will start for the developing global strategy or companies based on the risk assessment and business impact analysis. Business impact analysis, it tells you what will happen. For example, if there is a downtime in, let's say, in banking industry, you will say that, oh, I have to make system up and running in 2 hours. Why? Because regulatory will force me and then I have to pay the penalty. And also our customers, they can't get their money from ATM, bank, office. So this is very important for me. So business impact analysis, it will tell us what will happen, how I have to resume the process. This is quite mapped between risk assessment because your conclusion, your approach based on your risk assessment. Then you will develop strategies and business continuity plans according to your risk assessment and BIA values. BIA values is an end-to-end business. It is not easy that you can get it in one day. It tells you peer-to-peer meeting and also for the, let's say, the board meetings, director meetings, you will develop for some questionnaire forms, or you can use some tools that in order to get the valid answer. And then you develop strategies and business content planning, and after you meet people, so you assign people for the dedicated role. Roles could be business continuity manager, business continuity support, supervisor, whatever it is you define in your business continuity plan. As soon as you complete it, you need to communicate the plan for the stakeholders that I need this plan I have developed, but I have to go for test and review. So you will go for another session. Then you will start test and review, and then you need some technology and tools, and then you will find regulatory compliance and continue to improve. This is not like a Euclid based approach. It's quite, let's say, continuous improve process. You can never get 100% satisfied or maturity level. You will start from the, let's say, point according to the out of 5, let's say start 2, and then you will go increase your maturity year by year to or 2.5, 3, or 4, but you will never get a 5 because you will never be have the totally matured. Every day, every year, you need to increase this process. Risk assessment and some of the things that we need to do for this analysis, for example, detailed steps. In what we do, first identify critical business functions. What is very important? What is important for your corporate business? How you survive? What is you are totally dependent on? These are the essential for critical functions. And then you will go for the identify potential threats. So you list potential internal and external threats that could impact for critical functions. Assess the impact for several cases, business operations, finance, health, reputation, and compliance. Finally, you prioritize your risks, which is the highest one. And then likelihood and impact calculation, you will get score. Fancy that. There is a financial services company. It's called through the BIA process, and then there is a cyber attack on their customer database, and then it will impact on their operation. What they need to do is they need to start from the prioritize their threat, and then for implement cybersecurity measures, including real-time monitoring, IDS, we call it intrusion detection systems, and regular security audit. So this is for the BI and the risk assessment process. It should go like this one for the financial services. I just made one example. There is another one. For example, to develop the strategies and plan, let's say for the mitigation strategies. Because when you have find the result, there is a risk that you have to calculate. You have to take an action. Either you accept, either you transfer to the third party, and I will say I don't want to do this. These are the risk-based approach. So mitigation strategy is based on this one. So response plan is coming from this kind of strategical decision, such as it may happen to you one of the instances, like a data breach or natural disaster, and then you will develop this kind of strategy and the plan. It should be also to back to normal business continuity, okay, but you also develop to back to normal. That means that you have to resume the process uh, how it is already. So the developed recovery plan. Developing strategies to restore the operations is also setting the recovery objectives and identify resources for the need for the recovery. When you have done, I need this task, I have to resume first, then you will go for the recovery. Let's give another example. Uh, there is an e-commerce company. They developed a response plan for server outages. They established a backup data center in different geographical locations, such as one of them located in UK, another one Italy, one of them is located in Turkey, another one, let's say, in Spain. So what they need to do, if something will happen, they need to switch their operations to the other side in, let's say, in minutes, because this is e-commerce business. Uh, why would they do this? You see, this is a strategy because they think that I can't stay even though 1 minute outage. I have to switch over the operations to another location. So this is their strategy. Of course, this strategy is quite expensive, but the company, when they wanted to do based on their budget, as you remember, we have told they need to get to the sufficient resources. Here is the one of the ways. They have to spend a lot of money, billions and billions of dollars, to open the new data centers in new locations. So this is also coming from developing studies and plans. Roles and responsibility, how they do this, how we need to do this. First, you need to do who is going to be the big person. Big person is giving them much more accountability for the process. It could be coming from either senior management and also for the line management. But important one is they have to be the supreme or senior people who is going to challenge the situation. So roles and responsibility coming from crisis management team. We need to form a crisis management team for overseeing of implementation of the business continuity plan during an incident. And also IT recovery team or technology recovery team because you need these people, they have to recover the process, including data restoration, system repairs, they have to task, and they have to conduct and communication. If something will happen, who is going to respond to? I mean, technology people, internal people shouldn't be response this kind of uh, very, let's say, stress and very naughty situation. Communication team should also go for the line business and inform them, okay, we are XXX company, we are doing our best, we are informing the situation in, let's say, in 30 minutes, something like that. This is the communication team's responsibility. You have to set up this kind of team for the business continuity. Let's give another example. There is a healthcare provider assigned specific roles to employees within their business continuity plan. What they need to do, if there is a system failure, IT team should focus on restoring the electronic health records, while the communication team should keep the patients and staff informed through the pre-planned communication channels. So you need to divide the roles and responsibility according to what they do. Communication plan. You have got internal and also external bodies because you have people. You cannot ignore them. So you need to develop the plan how you are going to respond, how you are to communicate to your employees. So you need to develop a plan to keep employees informed. This includes designing the primary and secondary communication channels. For example, email, internet, SMS, voice call, whatever it is. What is your sufficient resources? You have to decide at the beginning. External communication, you need to create templates with your customers and partners and stakeholders. But this is already done, but situation will change quite rapidly. You can write it down somewhere else. If something will happen, I am going to communicate with my customer according to this text. Right. This text cannot be applicable every time. You may write it down for your practicing, but don't rely on this because situation will change quite different than you have already. Same time, you will get squeezed from the regulatory body, from the customers, from your, let's say, stakeholders, shareholders, and you don't know what to do. So these are you need to do much more practicing than writing. So do much more practicing for the communication plan. For example, let's think there is a global logistics company. They have developed a comprehensive communication plan about emergency notification. During a natural disaster, they use this system to send real-time updates to employees and customers, ensuring everyone was informed. Are you okay? Is your wife okay? Because this person belongs to your company and cannot work very well because if something happened to his family, he shouldn't do anything. So these are the things that we need to do for communication plan. Test and review, very, very important topic because you never see what will happen in the real time. So Regular testing should be dealing with your regular tests. Yeah, let's schedule the plan for business continuity in different time. Tabletop, real time, simulation, black box, white box, real time recovery. These are all the things that you need to do for different types of exercises. So you need to schedule these tests according to your business continuity plan and review your results because doing the exercise is not so important. To assess the results, much more important. Don't get scared that I don't want to do this because if something will happen, if system cannot resume the process, we will all get trouble. Yes, in reality, it will happen in like this, but your task also to resume the process. So let's say that do this exercise, see that what is missing, what is wrong, and then according to the result, update your plan for based on the test results, exercise and changes in the business operation, and also emerging threats. For example, multinational technology company conducted quarterly disaster recovery drills. These are drills helped identify their weakness in their plan, such as insufficient backup power supplies, which they are addressed by upgrading their infrastructure. In Turkey, we have come across several situations, unfortunately. Let's say start from the earthquake, flood, fire, terrorism. These are the things all happening, unfortunately. Well, we are not proud of this, but we keep doing this for several years. Prepare ourselves for the worst situation. So these are the things that you need to do for yourself, for thinking for your work situation. And you need you need technology and tools. Yeah, this is not for things that everybody can do every time. No, you need technology. So you need data backup and solution and implement automatic and regular backups and also to critical for this information. You need redundant systems. As soon as one thing happens, you will resume your process. You need also cloud services. Use cloud services to enhance your data accessibility and reliability. This is an example from large retail chain. They use cloud services for point of sale system. During a regional power outage, they seamlessly switch to their cloud-based system, ensuring continued operations without data loss. You will think in that way. Nobody expects these people to go and get my, let's say, t-shirts, trousers, 7 days, 24 hours. This is a just retail market, but they do for operations for the globally. So they have to send their goods for the one country to another, one territory to another. So they use cloud services for the point of sale systems. According to the UC, whatever we tell you, based on your strategy, your sufficient resources, your risk management process, these are all coming from technology and tools. Regulatory compliance, you need for regulation. They are squeezing people. If you don't do this, you will pay a lot of money for the fine. So regulatory audit of business continuity plan, it's also meets your their requirement. Please do this whenever you are available, not available every time. Let's give another example for pharmacy company. They have, as you know, that this is dealing with the human health. So there's a very tough requirement. They conduct annual compliance audits for their plans and they reflect the changes in regulations. They remain compliant and avoid legal penalties. I'm just giving an example. What is the importance for this? So this is very good. Yeah, plain audits also same. Yes, thank you for that. Thank you. Um, Continuous improvement. Finally, you have reached a situation that you can measure your maturity, and also you need to go one step further. So feedback loop. So collect the feedback from your employees. How we are going? How we are dealing? Are you happy? Is there any business process outage you come across so far? Is there a downtime? Have you already noticed that something is missing from your R inventory? Something like that. So it also gives an indication for the awareness of the people. And innovation-based continues to seek the innovation solutions to improve or enhance your business. Another example for insurance company, they implemented Loop. They are expecting employees after each test of the business continuity plan. What they do, as you know, insurance company, they process new technologies, improve your mobile communication, and also for remote working. So you see it's continuous improvement you also need to do for your business continuity plan. We have given starting from the reality and then a little bit theoretical cases. I don't want to bore you too much academical stuff, but still give you basic points for the risk management. Because risk management, as I told you, most of the backbone of the business continuity. The basic mistakes are for the risk management. They say that, oh, we know all the risks. We don't. I don't need to do business continuity. No? Why? And then they need to do for things that they have to things for the low probability. Yes, it wouldn't happen. First of all, you come across and then you provide me the risk matrix, but I didn't think so. It will happen. For example, in pandemic, they used to have health and safety plan for pandemic response. I mean, we never paid that too much attention. We are all ashamed of it. We never. We think that oh, there is a one virus come from the one country, it will come and impact all the world. Oh, we really didn't think that it will happen. In fact, it happened. So disregarding the event that has a low probability is quite one or two common mistakes. So we go a little bit much more detail about risk management fundamentals. Because basically, what we do is there is a basic acronym, or let's say the uh, uh, syllabus for the terminology for the risk. When we say that the process, it means repeatable and continuous activities. There should be income and outcome. It should be repeatable and continuous. 1 year in this way, second year another way. This is not a process. It should be repeatable and continuously. Program all the things that will be done yearly for the business plan. Project, when we apply it for the action, it will turn to the program. Project is the starting point. Program is the comprehension. For the business continuity, we need to also bear in our mind that disaster or emergency state, what we say that unplanned events that can cause disruption for the business process. Disaster recovery, it means for us recovery of the critical information system application. Emergency plan, planning unexpected events. Emergency plan focused on the human. It means me, us, all human. Disaster recovery focused on the technology, disaster recovery, and also emergency state components of the business continuity. Risk starting from analysis and assessment, treatment, evaluation, and all of them, we call it risk management. Analysis stage, systematic process, assessment. After that, when we do the calculation, it will result like this. And then you will take an action, it's a risk treatment, and then risk evaluation, components of analysis and risk assessment. Risk management, evaluation, calculation and presentation and assessment, and then criteria based on our business continuity, BCM requirements, budgets, cost, and availability. Risk management, as I told you, treatment and divided into mitigation and prevention, and also other controls which is coming from the risk management. Acceptance, increasing the risk, ignoring or transferring the risk. Risk management cycle like analysis and assessment and treatment. This is the risk management cycle. Risk is calculation, remaining risk, acceptable risk. Our goal is remaining risk, acceptable risk. We never avoid of risk. We are worrying about managing the risk. If the risk is high, it's no problem. If we can't manage the risk, that's the problem. The problem is to managing the risk. Enterprise risk management, there is a term called appetite. Means that senior management should define my risk appetite, like you go to the restaurant. My appetite is just to have a plain steak, for example. I don't have much more. If something, let's say, bigger, together with tomato, whatever it is, I don't accept. So risk appetite, controversially with, let's say, the food context, I should say that high, medium, or low. Companies, global companies, should define their risk appetite. I should take action only medium or high. I never take an action. So risk appetite is companies is medium. Risk coming from the Oxford Dictionary, it says exposure to possibility of loss, injury, or adverse or unwelcome circumstance, chance, or situation involving such a possibility by Oxford Dictionary as defined in very years ago, 17th century. So it tells us possibility of loss, injury, or unwelcome circumstance, a chance or situation involving such a possibility. Such a not a simple definition, it's a complex definition, but it tells you components of the risk. It tells you possibility, unwelcome circumstance, situation, and also possibility. So these are the three components of risk. BCM context is the probability for threats to exploit the vulnerability in an asset that defines a threat, for there is a strategic objective for this. Risk and error are same? No, Fahad, it's different. Okay, I will explain. Error, something can happen either out of the risk calculation, whatever it is. Risk is coming from the nature of the environment, let's say, because everything can be defined as a risk. You never know. For example, this has happened to me. I don't want to tell you as an example, but In 2009, 2010, I've been called for a international conference. I was going to Amsterdam, and then my airplane was crashed. So I am one of the survivors. So based on the risk calculation, uh, this accident happens only 1% of million. But surviving, surviving of this accident, 1% of 1 million. So, but I survived. Uh, so you can never expect the situation. So error is the one of the cases happened in the this accident. It is a business continuity. Let's say uh, let's say in error because there is a uh, altimeter, two altimeters. One is working as a standby. Another one is, let's say, one is prime. Another one is secondary. Prime one is outage. Directly goes to the there's a cluster technology they are using goes to the another one. But unfortunately, software error. This is an error. Software mistake happens that altitude of the airplane is not correct. So still it gets to the wrong one from the altimeter. Because of that reason, unfortunately, we had an airplane connection. So this is the error for that. So risk is both threat and missed opportunity. As opportunity could be the result of risk. Yes, risk assessment also is an opportunity for the risk assessment. It could give us a new dimension for the risk. So it will tell us, okay, because I defined this one, let's do in this way as a good opportunity for me to switch the system to the another one. So this is an, you may call it for the opportunity as well. In scientific way, asset, vulnerability, and threat is the function, and then outcome of this function is a risk. Asset, we call it for information security related, or let's say your core assets. Vulnerability happens that there is a weakness for the system. And then threats, it will happen that. These are for BCM context. We define for risks in different reputation, compliance, finance, operation, and malicious. I have to speed up because the 1 hour I have already spent your time anyway. So strategical for the senior management, tactical is much more senior level, operational is for line management level. I just shift this one. So risk-based for assessment, you need to remember likelihood, impact. Always likelihood, impact. It could happen according to your risk catalog, and then you will come across that it will happen. Then calculate that one, you will find the risk scoring. The same example. This is for Cartesian solution. We never want to be in this area, avoid. We will want to be retain or let's say transfer. Design changes or probability according to the what we do. Mostly people would like to stay or retain in this way according to your risk calculation. So probability and impact value, it will give you the calculation. This is analysis of risk for the treatment option. likelihood, consequence, and risk level. Identified risk, for example, client management, what it does, miscommunication with sponsor and client regarding the project requirement expectation. What is our solution? Update client more frequently along the way with project progress. Server is down, which causes project to be slightly delayed due to the application not able to load. What we do, our mitigation plan, perform the periodical check on server status. We will give out a lot of examples according to your business environment. What we do, I have already defined. It will start from the BCM policy, business impact analysis, risk assessment, training, test and drills, maintenance, and improvement. These are all business continuity components. I just checked this one. We have done. This is a workflow. It's quite complicated one, but you can develop according to in your organization. Proactive management. Risk analysis on global operations. I will just have some words for about it. So key components for your global operations, if you are working in a global environment. First, identify the risks. Second, assessing the risks. Third one is mitigating the risk. When you do identifying the risk, political, economical, legal, operational, environmental, cultural risk, you have to write it down. And then assess the risks, likelihood impact, matrix, scenario-based, and then diverse insurance, and you run for compliance program, and you are working in the global supply chain, very important, and then develop the crisis management plan. Manufacturing for money, for example, when the same things, technology company, similar, and retail change, you have got a lot of disasters as well. Okay. Last but least, I will tell you for you, business continuity for either global, either local. Three things you have to have it in your mind. You need to have process. You will come from the best practices, good practice guideline for BCI, Business Continuity Institute, locally in London, or ISO 22301. Best practice with the process. You don't have to invent new technology. You have already, it has been already defined. It forces you what to do, but you have to find how to do this. You need people well-trained, BCM awareness, and dedicated people, and very sophisticated technology. Yes, Muzam, I will share my presentation. Most situations, we don't know where is the situation. Emergency response, crisis management, or business continuity. In reality, you have to give this maturity for your organization. What is emergency? What is business continuity? If something happened directly to people, this is emergency. If it happens to your business operations, this is the business continuity. If you don't know what to do, this is the crisis management. If already defined what to do in all situations, that means that you are on good mood. You know, you are not going to face any crisis management situation. So success criteria, this is for all the way. We can call in your organization, Turkish Airways, Vodafone, whatever it is. Always we need to do these three pillars. We are not creating heroes. We are not creating heroes because It's very important. We are in the corporate company. Mustafa is one day here, but next week it may not happen. So this business should be up and running all the time. This is for mobile GSM. So just I didn't have time to translate into some of that in English. You see, for the components, all mobile network, even though one part is missing or out of order, totally GSM network collapse. It's such a big situation. I'm sure in your organization is the same. So in your cases, risk is everywhere. You need to take into consideration for all each component in your company. Two things are important: RTO, recovery time objective, how long you are going to resume your process. You need to define for your calculation. In telco business, 2G, 3G services, you have to resume in 4 hours. RTO, we call it RTO, recovery time objective. RPO, in order to get this service up and running, which data you need? 1 day before, 2 days before, 4 hours before, we call it RPO. Maximum tolerable disruption, it will tell us this company will not exist forever. That means that something is collapsed. This company cannot get all the business. We call it that, totally that, yes, mortally. Analogy for the gas leak. There's a gas leak, and then this is empty POD. There is a spell. RTO, there is a vomit. You can up and then you do your daily life. But when you reach empty POD, the spasm or you get into the coma. I will never be the same Mustafa as before. So this is the empty POD level. Another one is minimum business continuity objectives, MBCO, minimum level of service that we have to deliver for our business. But in reality, we don't know. So we call it MBCO. This is the BCM program. Benefits of BCM, you will get all your benefits from your business. It's necessary that you have to prepare yourself. The good opportunity for improve your progressing in your company, and also good for your customers. They can trust you. This company has got a good business continuity planning. I never get to trouble them. Services always available. Well, you may call us this kind of situation. If there is no business continuity management, so what we will do? You have to ask this question every time. What I will do next? In fact, in real time, we keep our phones like we are using handset as a, let's say, mobile payment card. Also, we got an ID, whatever it is, but all the things that we need to discover what we are going to do for next. Even though we save some kind of cash in our pillow, in safe, so we need, in fact, in reality, prepare ourselves. The same thing that you need to do in your company for business continuity. Need for VCM, mostly interruptions, fulfill obligations, losing market, uh, prevent the loss of customer, avoid service interruption. VCM is basically continuity of the business. They have made a calculation. It's still valid, I think. Impact of the shareholder value. If they've got a effective crisis response, they found that their share value increased 7%. If they have responded them ineffectively, they lose their shareholder 15%. This is happening, unfortunately. Um, this is still valid. I haven't found a different one. Mostly, you see the pillar is the high risks or top security risk for your company. Um, System security, 17. Human capital risks, 12. Operational growth risk is 6%. Business continuity and crisis management, 14. In fact, you know, unfortunately, CrowdStrike case, you know that it happened all the world, is that business continuity failure, totally. So we have to prepare ourselves for the things that are unknown. Conclusion, effective risk analysis in global operations is critical for maintaining business continuity, achieving long-term success by identifying, assessing, and mitigating risks. Companies can better navigate the complexity of the markets and their operations remains resilient, and then they keep up with a much more effective way of ongoing business. On the behalf of CFA, I am very happy to meet you in this session. If any questions, please ask us. Certification, cfa.co.uk. Training services, we do provide trainings. And I can also for CFA Cert, for social media, LinkedIn, Facebook, X, and Instagram. These are our channels that we communicate with you. I am very happy. If you have any questions, please ask me. Okay, then. Thank you very much for meeting us. Thank you for all. We are going to share the presentation. We have a also for this place. Okay.